What is up everyone, my name is Jasper, and if you remember this video here, you know that halfway through December I suddenly lost all of my writers. Now of course, when you're building a blogging business and trying to build a large portfolio of websites, losing all of your writers all at once is not good. So in that video I went over a few options, and of course the first one is building out a new team. But the other one was trying out some writing services, even if it's just temporarily. I just want to place some orders. Well, it actually ended up being just one order, and that order was with WeWriteBlogPosts. Now this name is kind of a tongue twister and I will probably mispronounce it at least once or twice in this video, but their service has been amazing so far and I kind of wanted to share my experience with them. So I published that video on December 16th, and on December 17th I placed my order with WeWriteBlogPosts. Now I ordered for about $3,000 worth of content. I did get a 10% off code, which I of course used because it saved me about $300. I will leave this code in the description down below and in the pinned comment if you want to order with them. I am affiliated with them, but if you want to order with them, there's a 10% off code for you. So in the end, my total order came down to $2,745, and that was spent for 60,000 words and a 10 article hit list. Now the hit list is basically them doing the keyword research for me and coming up with 10 titles. They also come up with the word count, and after they found these titles and you approve them, they will also write these articles for you. Now the great thing about WeWriteBlogPosts is that at the time I wanted to place an order, but I did not have like 50 titles ready to go. So what I did is I still ordered. Now they do have several pricing tiers depending on how many words you're ordering. So I went with the cheapest one, which meant the most amount of words. In fact, there were way too many words for me to give articles for. So what I did is I started to run up a tab. So as of now, of recording this video, I still have about 20,000 words left for me to be written. I just need to supply them with new titles and then they start to write them for me. It's just a really nice bit of extra service. You can just place that order even if you don't have all the titles ready yet, and it will just take care of it later on. Now the one downside to keeping my website hidden is that I can't really show these articles, but I have to say I'm super impressed by them. They were written so well, they read so nicely, and I think that's attributed to the owner blogging for 6 years himself and kind of passing down what he knows. But also that their writers are doing original research, and that's the original research that Income School often talks about, and it means that you're actually calling companies for answers. You're just going the extra mile for the most precise answer, and if that means calling a company here or an expert there, they will do that for you. And what's really interesting is that I made a video on my case study website where I said that I was facing some pretty major indexing issues. And literally a few days after I made that video, a few articles started to get indexed. And weirdly enough, all of these articles were from WeWriteBlogPosts. And the weird thing is that these articles were just a few days old compared to the 2 months old articles that were already on the website. So I'm not sure if that's any indication, but I do find it kind of apparent that these articles started to index within days, while the other articles took 2 months and they're still not even indexed. It's just really weird, but it's a great sign, at least for me. I said in that video that if this website wasn't going to get indexed anytime soon, then I was going to slow down production for it. But now that WeWriteBlogPost articles are ranking, it's just so weird to see that only those articles are ranking right now, even though they're days old. I'm not really sure what to make of it, but it is a sign for me to continue on with this website. So far with them, I received about 20 articles and I only had to send 2 back for rather small revisions. So there were a few things I didn't really agree with. One of the articles went in a direction that was really not what I was looking for. Now I know that that is mostly my fault, but even though it is my fault, they are going to take care of it and going to rewrite the article. Now the other article had some things that I didn't really agree with, so I just sent them back with my notes and they completely overhauled the article. They even asked me if I had any sources because they had some trouble finding some things. So I sent them over a bunch of information that I already had, and they just worded it so perfectly. It reached just very nicely. So I think without further ado, let's just dive into their website and see what everything is about. So we're here on their homepage and let's just quickly walk you through the website. So this is the homepage, you can scroll through it, there's some testimonials here, and they kind of show you what their process is. So top tier writers and editors, of course they're going to say that, that's what everyone says. But this is the one that I like, their meticulous research, and that's really true. What I mentioned before is they are actually doing original research and they're actually getting their information from credible sources. So they prioritize sources like scholars, .edu, .gov domains. But they also, we also instruct writers to reach out to experts by any means possible, including phone calls, Facebook messages, emails, tweets, LinkedIn, and other forms of communication. And that's just what I really like, because you get different sorts of answers. When you go to Google and you type in a question like, why do cats bite? You'll get a lot of the same types of articles with the same types of answers. Of course, you've got a few that are doing their own research, but you also have a lot of websites that are kind of seeing what others on the web are writing, and they will just write on that themselves. So you get the very same sort of answer, just written in a lot of different ways. But when you ask your local pet specialist or some pet shop why cats bite, you get a lot of different insights coming from different angles. And that's why I think this sort of original research is really important, to make sure that you have a unique and actually helpful article. They also have their expert optimization section, where they are kind of talking about how they are writing according to the Project 24 guidelines. Personally, I also do this, and it basically comes down to the fact that they are optimizing their articles for snippets. But this snippet optimization is really helpful. It just kind of helps you skip that waiting line. It helps you just jump up to the #1 position a lot faster than if you were to manually wait for it to rank in the #1 or the #2 position. The snippets are just really helpful for that. Now here we got the pricing tiers, and this is the part where I don't really agree with it as much. Their lowest tier is 7 cents per word, and for me that's just way too expensive. Their most popular tier is 6 cents per word, and for me, once again, that's just a little too expensive. Personally, I just went with the platinum tier, which is 5 cents per word. Now the thing with that is that you do need to order 50,000 words or more. But to me, that's really worth it, especially if you're running up a tab like I did. You don't need to go for it all at once, you just need to pay for it all at once. As you can see here, it's 29% cheaper as well. It's just to me, this is the best one, and with the 10% off code, you will be paying 4.5 cents per word for amazing quality articles. To me, that's definitely worth it. And lastly, I talked about how I really like their customer support. They have free revisions and rewrites. It's just amazing. I sent back 2 articles and they came back perfectly fine again. They will just always do that for you. They don't really kind of argue with you why it is good or why it isn't good. They will just do it for you. So I'm now in the order form, and you just go there by clicking on order now. It's really easy, and you just fill in your name and your email address. You can also fill in your niche, so maybe they have some writers that are specialized in that niche and they will be writing for you. It isn't required, but it can help. Right here you will be choosing your tier, so personally I would go for platinum, but go for whichever one you can afford. And then right here you can indicate the exact number of words. So of course this is 50,000 plus, or for the bronze tier it's less than 10,000, so maybe you just want 5,000 words. You type in 5,000. Then right here you can list the number of posts and how many words should be written for that article. Now personally I kind of skip this. I just paste a order sheet here, a Google Doc that I made, where you just list all your articles with their required word counts. There's no need to kind of fill all of that in. It just makes it a lot easier, but if you only have 5 articles, you might as well just put it in here. Right here I was talking about the hit list that I can do for you. It's an additional $5 per title. If you want it, you can click on it and you just have to place some extra information there. If you don't want it, just don't touch this. And here they recently added an extra option where they will be publishing directly into WordPress for you. That's again another $5 per 1,000 words. But the main thing about that, which makes it kind of worthwhile, is they will include a premium stock image. Now personally, I don't really want to do this. I think the $5 is better spent elsewhere, especially if you're ordering large quantities. But I mean, this premium stock image could be really helpful if you're kind of running out of pictures. So again, click on it only if you want to. You will have to make a WordPress account for them. Right here they have a section for any additional guidelines you have in place. If you have any, just type them in here. And lastly, if you've got a coupon code, you should add it here. Now this one right here is mine. If you want to use it, you would be helping me as well. If you don't want to use this, that's fine as well. Here you can also sign up for their email list, which could be helpful because they do sometimes run additional discounts or announcing new services. So if you want to get notified of that, just click that. After that, you will be clicking on place order and you will receive an email from them. Now this email is basically confirming the order, after which they will be sending you an invoice. Now that invoice was sent to me via PayPal, but I do believe that they have different options if you want so. Now lastly, I kind of wanted to go over some of the writing samples, because of course how they are writing is the most important. So you can click on writing samples and they have a list of different sort of articles that they have written. So let's just click on this one, for example. It goes to this URL. This right here is Steve, who is the owner of WeWriteBlogPosts. And right here you can kind of see how they are writing these articles. This is of course the affiliate disclaimer. Right here you can see this is the kind of Project 24 / snippet optimization writing style. They've got an intro, then they got the answer section, and then a read on section. Now I can see that this article is kind of old because this section right here, they no longer do that, and I also no longer do that. Income School told us to just not do that anymore because Google is smart enough to know that this is the question that's being answered. So this section is no longer there. You can just ignore it for now. But right here, you can just see, you can read through these if you want. I'm not going to go over them in full detail, but overall, like, their writing style is really nice. When you just scroll through it, you can see that right here, yeah, there is a lot of text, but they break it up with bulleted lists and another one, and here another one, and another one, and they just kind of make sure that it's easy to read. Now right here they've got some pictures and some examples, which is also really helpful. And this is what they always end off with, a final thoughts or a wrapping up or a conclusion part. So overall, I'm just super happy with them, and I will definitely be using them in the future again. Since I usually order in bulk with them, I won't be ordering every single month, but every time I got an additional $3,000 to spare, it will probably go straight towards them. So far, I have been super impressed. They are responsible for the few articles that are finally starting to index on my newest case study website. So yeah, I don't really have a bad thing to say about them. Their customer support has been amazing. Their articles have been great. So if you want to order for yourself and you would like to support my channel, I got my 10% discount code. As I said, I am affiliated with this company, but only because I was really impressed with what they provided. Anyway, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.